All right, today I want to discuss my Hamilton Khaki Field 38. I had the 42 for a long time and I wore one for years. I recently switched past few months down to smaller sizes and watches. I like watches with presence, but at the same time I like things that are understated and small. I'm going to apologize for the background noise up front. My neighbor's doing yard work and it's nice out, so I wanted to shoot a video since I haven't done one in a while. Anyway, my wrist is about 7.25 inches, give or take, and that's 38 millimeters on a 7.25 inch wrist. Lug to lug on this watch is about 46. So you're right in around SKX territory. We'll get into watch a little bit, but I went up to Troy, Michigan this past weekend and hung out with some people that I've just kind of met on Random Rob's Patreon, or not the Patreon, on the Discord. So we did a meetup and we talked about just watches, whatever. Some people brought some really neat stuff and we just got together, hit up a few ADs. And when I first met up with Rob and Craig and his wife, Heidi, they asked me, right off the bat what I was wearing. And I was wearing this. And Rob said that that's basically like my signature brand. And he's right. No matter what I do, I go back to Hamilton. I ventured off and I had it at Tudor for a while. I did a video on. But I have this kinship, I guess, to Hamilton. So my great-grandfather had a Hamilton pocket watch that we now have. And my grandfather was issued one in World War II. And now I wear one. So I guess in the way it is kind of like a family brand. I've brought that up before in a past video. I don't remember when I did that one. But it's interesting how you can fall into like this mental thing. I mean, like I love G-Shocks. I have G-Shocks. I have a couple squares right now. I'm going to do a video on probably both of them here shortly. But no matter what I do, and no matter what I look at and what I buy, I cannot get away from Hamilton watches, even with the flaws. The loom sucks. They don't use AR like they should, especially on their field watches. So there are things about them that I don't find appealing, and I wish they would do things like other brands. I wish it had Seiko loom and, pick Omega's AR. But it's not what it is, and I accept that. Kind of like, you learn to accept Seikos with misaligned chapter rings because for some reason they just can't quite get their stuff together with that. So anyway, I'm going to flip this video around, going to look at it, talk about it a little bit. But I want, if anyone else has that same issue, where no matter what happens and no matter what you buy, you keep going back to brand X, be it Hamilton, Seiko. I know for a lot of people it's Seiko, Tudor, Breitling, whatever. If you're a Breitling guy and try to Patek and went right back to Breitling, whatever the case may be for you. So, like I said, I'm going to flip this around. We're going to look at this a little bit and enjoy the video. All right, so Hamilton Khaki Field automatic 38 millimeters. As you can see here, what I was just talking about, the AR, you get used to turning your wrist as you need to read the time, but I just wish it wasn't a thing. So 38 millimeters across. I know this watch has been done 1,000 times probably, but 38 millimeters across. Said 46 on lug to lug, and if you go just to the bottom of the case and not counting any of the crystal, it's right about 10 millimeters thick. This one is the H10 movement. Maybe you've seen them. Maybe you're looking at this watch. But it's basically a modded 2824, and there doesn't appear to be any way to adjust these. If someone else knows a way to, let me know, but I don't know how this can be adjusted anyway. This one, and I probably got lucky, I set it a week ago, I've worn it, and I just checked it before I started doing this video, and it's at +4. So, +4 seconds over the course of a week, whatever, I'm fine with. This is probably the best running watch I've had. This one's a crown and buckle. These are actually pretty good straps. I like the blue Alpha Sharks Also, the crown and buckle, the holes are a little bit closer together and you can get a better fit. But anyway, back to the watch. The heritage of this line, you know, with Hamilton in their field watches goes back a long time. And they are really nice, basic watches. You know, it has the date and it tells the time. That's really all I need a watch to do. I've seen videos about people complaining that the 100-meter water resistance on this can't be trusted. That may be because it is just a push-pull crown. So, I mean, I've got this watch wet. It's been in lake water, whatever. This one is probably a year old or so. It's got some scratches and dings on it. I mean, these, for the money, when I bought this, I know the prices are going up on everything, but when I bought this one, I think I paid like $350 or something off Jama Shop for it. And I don't think you can ask more of a field watch outside of, like I said, the lume. And Rob and I had that, we talked about it briefly this weekend. You know, how important is the lume? I'm not out at night that much anymore. I'm getting older, I guess. So, you know, I don't really worry about it. And even when I was younger, I don't think the lume was ever that much of a consideration outside of it's a cool little nuance, you know, of the watch. Like a Seiko, you get a Seiko close enough to a wall that's been charging, it'll glow on the wall. It's pretty impressive. But the Hamiltons, I just don't think you can beat them. You know, for the money, I've had Khaki Kings, which I like. I don't mind the day date the way it is. I did have the new black version for a little bit. I didn't even do a video on that when I had it so briefly. It was neat, but it just, I prefer this, and I prefer this over the 42. The 42, I think the lug to lug on that is like 50. I can wear 50. I can wear 50 fine, and most people can if you have a 7¼ inch wrist. And like my wrists are fairly flat, you know. Anyway, if your wrist is more round, maybe a 50 doesn't work as well. I'm not sure, but these watches, for what you're paying for and what you're getting in return, I think it's a hard thing to beat. I have looked at the Zen. I think is it the 556? It's their field watch, perhaps. That one looks cool. I might try one of those. I keep thinking about getting another diver, but every time I get a diver, I end up just selling it because these field watches are just they're my thing. That's what I wear, and I can't quite escape that. So anyway, I think these are really good for the money. Like I said, at this point, I'm just kind of rambling, but I think you should check them out. And if you have a wrist, I would say up to 7½ inches, you can probably wear this watch and it's not going to look too small. You can wear the 42 and it'll look fine, but there is a difference when you're looking at them side by side. It's pretty big difference, you can tell. But I said, look at them both, try them on, see what you think, and see you guys in the next video.